This video presentation covers the configuration options for HPA designed systems, and it's based on the basic to complex development and growth that can take place within an aquaponics system. So in essence, we start with a basic model which enables us to grow plants, filter the water for our fish, and give our fish relatively clean water. When this system is running, it will run adequately, but it is generally designed for moderate stocking densities and for smallish hobbyist type systems. The filtration of the water in this configuration is generally fairly superficial and doesn't remove all of the soluble nutrients that are converted by the system, by the grow beds, by the stone. So the system generally has no sump. It has a pump situated in the fish tank, so the fish tank volume will fluctuate up and down as the grow beds fill and drain. The fish tank is the lowest point in the system, and it must be either partially buried or downhill from the grow beds, because the water flows by gravity back from the grow beds back to the fish tank. The cost of such a kit, most basic kit at the moment from HPA X Works, is around about 18,500 Rand, and obviously that price will fluctuate according with regards to exchange rate and various other factors, but that is the kit price at the moment for the essential components. If we upgrade that system, we add a sump. The sump then will basically be exactly the same as what we saw in the previous slide, except that the fish tank volume, water volume will remain the same, and the water from the fish tank will flow back down into the sump where the pump is situated. This system enables the fish tank volume to remain the same, and for us to increase the stocking densities of our fish so that the system can run with more nutrient. It's important to ensure that the sump can handle all of the water that is drained from the grow beds at once. If they synchronize and drain all at once, we need to ensure that the grow beds can drain into the sump and not overflow the sump. So water from the pump in the sump pumps to the fish tank and to the grow beds, and the return water back into the sump. An upgrade of this nature basically pushes the kit price up to about 20,000. Again, these prices are May 2016. Obviously those prices will change, but it gives an indication. To upgrade further, we can add additional fish tanks. This enables us to stagger the ages of our fish so that we don't have one age or one size of fish in the tank. It enables us also to increase the volume of fish that we have in the system, as long as our ratio between fish tank water volume and grow bed water volume is not out of kilter. This again means that the sump is the lowest point in the system, and there is very limited removal of soluble nutrients from the system in this design. Price on this kit goes up to about 23,000 by adding an additional fish tank. If we upgrade further, we add deep water culture. Deep water culture infers that we are removing soluble nutrients from the water once the solids have been removed by the grow beds, by the aggregate in the grow beds. So we convert an area where the grow beds or the fish tank was located, we move the fish tanks across, and we put in some raft tanks which enable the soluble nutrients to be removed from the water that comes from the return water once the solids have been removed. This deep water culture system facilitates the removal of our soluble nutrients. It improves the water quality and efficiency of our system, and generally is not an expensive addition to our system, but it represents a quality upgrade. it pushes our kit price up to roughly 27,000 Rand by adding some deep water culture if our ratios are maintained. So there are some different configurations that have specific advantages. These are some examples of our HPA systems, and they basically show different layouts and different configurations, but in these models shown, all of the filtration is present, in the sense that our grow beds are doing the mechanical and biological filtration, our deep water culture is removing soluble nutrients, our water is flowing back into a sump. The sump is the lowest point in the system, and we have multiple fish tanks to ensure that we have as much fish control over our fish as possible. These systems can have solar modules in terms of power added to them, because our systems run on relatively low power. The modules can be replicated to create volume, and so they can be scaled up for purposes of achieving commercial scale. So if we want to run a commercial system and find that things are going well and we want to expand and build another module, we can simply build another module adjacent to it as our budget allows or as the market dictates, and so forth. We can grow and become fairly commercial in our approach. However, sometimes life happens and we have an accident, or market turns, or there is some event which means that our system is no longer able to function at full commercial levels, and so we need to shut one system down, or perhaps two systems down. But it does not mean that we need to shut down the entire system simply because we built it in a modular format. So the advantage of building modular systems is, in the case of a problem, we can shut down one or two or more modules and then start them up again over time when life permits. So these are the primary advantages of running with a modular approach as developed by HPA. We advocate these. They reduce and limit and mitigate the risk involved in aquaponics, and they enable us to learn, to grow as we learn and learn as we grow, and also to manage our financial situation.